Good afternoon, everybody. I said good afternoon, everybody. That's more like it. I knew the young people would get us to do it. Thank you for being here at this year's Honor Band concert and Honor Choir concert, actually, after the bands. It is a pleasure to be with you once again. Before we even start, I have to say thank you to several people. And I would like to start with the staff here at Nimad, who also has to put in overtime. We started this event on Thursday night. They had to be here to help staff our concert. They've been here all day yesterday and all day today. And we'll be here tomorrow for our Community concert, a holiday concert, which you're welcome to come to as well, and play if you want, or just to come attend. And so thank you all so much for all of the work that you do. We do not take that for granted. Would also like to thank who is probably packing up. When you came in, you probably saw a display from CA House. Dave Dernberger always comes down for the Honor Band. He's repairing instruments and has other equipment for students to check out. And we appreciate that effort on his part. We are so appreciative for that. And this event would not happen without the help of some wonderful graduate, undergraduate students here at the university. This year headed up by two of our graduate students, Noah Brent and James Nicely. And I would just like to ask those two and all of the folks who've been helping this weekend to just come out and let us acknowledge them for their work this week. Thank you guys. A couple of them asked me, well, what should I wear for this? And I said, you should wear whatever you've been working in. But Rebecca couldn't do it. She had to go home and change and get all nice, get all prettied up. But they have been working. I mean, they've been schlepping chairs around and everything all weekend. And we really appreciate that work. I also, since I'm not conducting the band this year, if you have come to the Honor Band before, usually it's Dr. Slick and I conducting the bands, and every once in a while, like this year, he's not even here because the football team's playing Miami, which we destroyed today. So sometimes on short notice we have to get a clinician to do the other band, but this year I decided that I wanted to get some different clinicians to do the bands for a long time ago. And one of the things about events like this is that obviously I taught high school band for 15 years. I love working with high school students, and we always have a great time. But music brings people together. And in addition to having students come on campus and experiencing what OU has to offer, I also want them to have the opportunity to connect with other people that aren't exactly in their backyard. And both of our guest conductors this year, or really, if you ask them where they're from, they probably would say Iowa, but right now they're in Idaho. And I'll tell you more about them in just a moment, but we want you to have the most varied experience that you can. But before I introduce the guest conductors, I do want to say two final thank yous. First of all, to you in the audience. If you're here, you're probably the parent or grandparent or friend of one of these students that will be performing today. And they can't do what they do without you. And we are appreciative of the efforts that you put in, hotel rooms and different things like that, not just for this event, but during marching season and all, through their careers. We have two kids now that are both in high school, and both of them have quit band. And my wife is a band director too. And so, my dad was not in music at all. He was an engineer, and I remember the whole time I was growing up, he wanted me to be an engineer. I'm like, nah, whatever. And he was always great, and he supported me and what I wanted to do. Both of my kids play sports, and even though they're not playing their instruments, I'm okay. I can deal with it. They're doing sports, and they're doing something great in their own right. And what I would say is that we want our students to be involved in something, but music just happens to be the best thing. Just saying. So anyway, thank you for supporting the students, and then the final thank you guys goes to you. And I wish you could be here and understand the real transformation that occurs in both groups at the beginning of yesterday when we started playing this music. I saw some pretty big eyes, like, I don't know if this is gonna happen or not. And with the work of these awesome clinicians and the work that they put in, they're gonna give a really great concert to you, for you today. So folks, not just again for what you're doing here, but what you do every single day in your own band rooms, you and your band directors, you deserve a round of applause for that work each and every day. Thank you. All right, so without further ado, let's get to the business of the day, which is giving you two great performances by these bands. When I wanted to find somebody to do these, to be the conductors for these bands, I knew that I have known for a little while. I met both of these conductors a few years ago. Mary Crandall, who's directed the first band, contacted me a few years ago about an initiative she was doing in Iowa. And so through that work, we've just connected and gotten to know each other. Through her, I met her husband, Myron, who's conducting the other band. I knew that the students would have a great experience with them because not only are they fabulous musicians, but they're fabulous educators. Each of them have taught over 20 years, even though when you see them, you won't be able to believe that because they don't look more than 20 years old. But they are amazing individuals and fun individuals and very musical individuals and just rock stars in our field as music educators and band directors and people that I wanted to make sure that your students have the opportunity to work with. So the first of those is Miss Mary Crandall. Please join me in welcoming her to the stage.
afternoon, everyone. This has been so much fun. And yes, as Dr. Talley said, from yesterday morning until now, wow, right? Wow, it's been awesome. These students have worked so hard, and it's just been wonderful to get to know them as a group, coming from so many different schools, and it's in a different setting, and there's so many variables to contend with, and listening to new people around them and adjusting. They have worked, we talked about running efficient rehearsals, and being proactive and quick reaction time, so that we can keep things moving along. And from the very first reading, do you all remember the first reading yesterday morning? Woo! Yeah, and now look at us. We are grooving and moving, okay? And try to feel the emotion that the music gives us. So hopefully you've gotten a taste of some different styles already. And they've just been so wonderful to work with. So thank you so much. These events cannot be possible without, of course, the collaborative efforts of so many people. So thank you to I'm going to reiterate quickly, Dr. Talley said it all, but thank you to the Ohio University students who initiated guidance in the rehearsals and ran some logistic things with percussion and getting chairs and stands and all of that type of thing. So thank you, Ohio University students. Thank you to the Ohio music faculty also, because they conducted master classes for all of our honor band students yesterday, and out of all the professors as well, a special heartfelt thanks to Professor Emily Talley. She took out some sections. She ran sectionals while we continue to have rehearsals, and it makes a world of a difference. So I really appreciate all of her efforts. It was great to have her here and participate in that way. So it really made learning the music more comfortable, and just it was wonderful to have her here. And to Dr. Will Talley, thank you for inviting Dr. Peterson and myself to be a part of the OU Honor Band Festival, and be a part of, as he said, music, you create connections through music. And if you really think about that, I mean, bringing all of these people together and to not knowing each other and how we play our instruments and just melding it all together, it's really a special, unique time. And I said to the students yesterday, we need to make sure that we think about the time that we're together, because this time in this space won't ever happen again. So we got to make it as special as we can, right? And as meaningful as we can. And hopefully as an audience, you can feel the emotion that we are presenting to you today. To the students, you all up here, you also down here, but since I worked with you all, thank you very much for your hard efforts, okay? I like to go fast-paced and go, right? In rehearsals, and in a matter of an hour with so many changing variables and everything, you guys worked your tails off, so I appreciate you so much. Take what you've learned here back to your band rooms at your schools and have fun with it and keep making music, okay? All right, are you all gonna do that? Yes? Okay, all right, good. Give them a round of applause. It was so And as the last selection that we're gonna play, it's entitled Hurry, and we're gonna hurry and play it. All right, here we go.
All right, it'll take us just a moment to set change for the next ensemble. There is a concert program that is digital, and the QR code is out in the lobby. If you didn't get to scan that, please do on your way out, and you can do it now if you want. But for the students that have their names printed in all the participating schools, it would be good to have that. And students, I'll be sending that to the program to you via email too, so that you have it as well. In just a moment for the second band. I didn't realize we were standing in the dark until I saw Mary speaking on the monitor back there. So I figured I'd move into the light. As I said, we are thrilled to have both of these guest conductors with us. Both of them actually served as the president of the Iowa Bandmasters Association. Mary was the president when I met her, and Myron was the president before that. Now, Dr. Myron Peterson is the director of bands at Boise State, who also had a pretty substantial football win last night. So somebody's happy about that. And Boise State, of course, is the home of the Blue Field. If you've ever been watching them play, you're like, what is wrong? I'm trying to adjust my TV. But anyway, this has been great to have both of them here, and I can't think of anybody I would rather have here than Mary and Myron. Both just excellent and very positive and engaging musicians, and I hope that have provided these students with an experience that will stay with them for a lifetime. So without further ado, please help me welcome to the stage Dr. Myron Peterson.
Good afternoon. So can you believe that about 24 hours ago we were contemplating quitting on that song because it's really hard. And I'll be honest, I brought a second piece as a backup piece that's a little easier. We were close, weren't we? We were close. It was like, close your eyes and vote, and it was literally about 50-50. What do you think? Are you glad we kept going? Me too. We talked a little bit about the more difficult something it is, the more proud we will feel for having accomplished it later. So we dug in and we kept at it, and it turned out really well. So congratulations. Can you hear anything in the back over there? Can you hear it okay? No, they're looking at me blankly. So I'll do it this way. Feel pretty good about accomplishing that? Yeah! Good. So it was a great journey. That piece was commissioned by the Air Force Band, and it was premiered at a band director conference called the College Band Directors National Association years and years ago. It's called Lauds, but it's really just a celebration of celebrating. It's just about being happy and excited, and maybe jet airplanes flying overhead, I'm not sure. But we really enjoyed that project together. The next piece takes us all the way to the other side of human emotions. It's something that we have all experienced at some point, which is loss. This particular piece was a case where a student was lost from a music setting as well, at a young age, a high school age. And so this piece commemorates that particular loss, but also I think we all know that feeling at some point, which is part of our human existence. So if this is a time for you to reflect about someone you've lost in the past, that's perfectly fine to experience that with us as we share this song with you. And yet again, for something a lot different, this next piece is composed by Julie Giroux, who, if you're familiar with composers, living composers in the band world, you know that she is one who has a very open sense of humor. She's very kitschy, she's quirky, she's confident, she takes no guff from anybody, and she's very creative and a free spirit, and it shows up in her music. So this is called A Time to Dance, and you would think, if it's something about dancing, that like they used to say, right, it's got a good beat and you can dance to it. There will be times like that, and then, because she's funny, she throws in a little pulseful hiccup. Which I think makes it really catchy, and it makes us want to sing it after we're done. It's one of those earworms. So enjoy it. You can sort of dance in your seats, and when you all of a sudden feel like you don't know why you're not dancing to the beat anymore, that's Julie's fault. She played a trick on you. Enjoy A Time to Dance. Can you hear me okay in the back? Thank you. I'm going to do it this way so they have a chance to hear me too. I think the microphone doesn't go back there. Dr. Talley said a lot of thanks, and Mary Crandall said a lot of thanks, and I echo them all, so I'm going to summarize them. This is something I do at honor bands that we host. So here's how it goes. We'll alternate a little for you. I say go OU, and you go, woo! Let's try it. Go OU! Awesome. Thank you to all of the staff who works here in, I guess, what we call MOD, which I think I've learned stands for Memorial Auditorium. Go OU! And for all of Dr. Talley's staff, graduate students, undergraduate students, everybody who has done everything from finding a bell tree to bringing me a soda when I really needed it. Go OU! And of course, the folks who invited us here, Dr. Talley is hiding out back there, and his wife, Professor Talley, also have been such gracious hosts. And as I mentioned to them earlier, music is my passion, teaching is my calling, and connecting people through music is my mission. And they gave us that opportunity to connect through music today. So a double go OU to them. You're the best. And again, for conquering the challenge that is difficult to put music together, and music that we both selected, both Mary Crandall and I selected, that would not be easy to do, but we dug in and we worked on that together. We formed some wonderful relationships. And a little funny story goes, we were rehearsing here and there's no whiteboard, and I love to write things on the whiteboard for visualization. We didn't have a whiteboard, so I found a cardboard box and I ripped it up into squares and wrote the things on the cardboard and held them up. And it turned out to be one of the things that I now hold dear, and they all signed one of those cardboard things, and I'm going to fly it home to Boise, a little piece of cardboard that has all of their signatures. So, to all of the students in your collaboration, go OU! I guess that's my turn. So, thank you so much for being here. Music is, here's the analogy I always use. You're sitting on the couch and you don't want to go to the thing. You're comfortable. You're like, oh, I just want to stay here. Just be good to rest on the couch. But you know it's the right thing to do. So you get up off the couch and you go. And then later you're like, I'm so glad I went. Have we ever had that? Yeah. Yep, there it is. The difference between the way you felt when you were dragging yourself off the couch to the way you felt when you got back home, I consider that healing. We healed a little bit of our tired souls, our weary souls, our whatever. We healed a little bit there because we went to hear music. We maybe heard our children do it, or our friends, or our whatever, right? And we healed a little bit. And that is the importance of what we are all doing here, but that is the importance of what you're doing. It's no less important than the doctor you go to when you've got the flu, or the therapist you go to when you're blue, or whatever the case is. This is healing as well, and that's the important work that we do, and I'm honored to have done the important work with you. So for the last time, go OU. All right, we'll make our last piece of music for you now, and it's called American River Songs. It consists of 3 folk tunes that you may or may not know. You'll hear each of them distinctly. The first third of the piece is fast and rhythmic and energetic. That's one folk tune. Then the middle is slow and pretty. That's another one. I'm almost 100% sure you'll recognize that one. And then the third one is fast and energetic again. So again, thank you, and American River Songs.
Thank you.